Welcome to this platform. Please don't forget to like this video, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel. Then press the notification button so that you will have opportunity to, watch our video whenever we post. Mr. Chinedu Michael. Surprisingly, we saw Atiku that is not in APC mention APC among the factors that are going to defeat President Bola Hammed Tinunbu. He mentioned Labour Party, PDP, and APC, that they are the party that's going to, unseat President Bola Hammed Tinunbu in 2027. How does that one sound to you?
You know, the growing sentiment against Bola Hammed Tinunbu, who is a southern president, is already growing wings and bonds everywhere in the north. You know, and the Bola Hammed Tinunbu too is looking at it that quite sensitive as he is. You know, he's trying to make sure that the northerners does not have a space in the southern Nigeria come 2027 at the end of the day, while he struggled to see how he's going to liberate them from, liberate the middle belt, as a tool, as a weapon to counter whatever the Fulani governors and led by Atiku and Elrufai and the rest of them, is going to factor in at the end of the day. But we don't know how that calculation is going to work at the end of the day, because we are seeing, the Hausas reacting mannerlessly to the president, unlike when Buhari was there in power. We saw the kind of diplomatic approach the Southerners were using, and we even know that Buhari was a colossal failure. Just like recently, Shomole came out and made it open to everybody that Buhari was just a total disappointment and a failure. And but these are the people who participated in the same government. So I don't know whether actually that was what is triggering the rising campaign against Bola Hammed Tinunbu from the northern politicians, from their youth, sending serious deep signals, to Bola Hammed Tinunbu, as if there was no hunger that was existing even before in that axis, in that zone, in that geographical area, zone, let me go to a political zone, but the way the whole thing is going, and you can see that Bola Hammed Tinunbu need to be very careful at this point in time and begin to make sure that he do a lot of infiltration in the north, and of course in the middle, to be able to unravel how these people normally meet secretly in some kind of places, maybe a religious gathering or a wedding and all, and you can see the same people will see as extremists, enemies, politically coming together to have a sit-down show, a talk show, talk deeply into just because they want a northern interest, nothing less than that. And it baffles me that until now, even we don't know how it is going to work. A major coalition is already breeding. But the center of attraction is that how would Bola Hammed Tinunbu be able to navigate? What is he going to use? What tool? What mechanism? What approach is he going to use? Is he going to get the international bodies and organizations, the Western world leader, to back up some of his ambition? Considering the fact that there's speculation there that Macron is already influencing the downfall of Tinubu as a result of he was not able to invade the invasion that was supposed to take place in Niger. As at that time, he was not able to do that, and as a result of that, some Western alliance are trying to use another insurgency, to make sure that they cripple the government, create insecurity, and of course bring the government down, according to the revelation we saw from the CDA, Chief of Defense Staff, crying that it looks like everything has come down. That the more they do, the more these people, the influx of these people across boundaries, across borders is enormous. And they're not just coming; they're coming with everything it takes. They're coming in with the air. Some of them even launch missile, against the Nigerian military barracks at the end of the day. But what are we saying is that, is this actually politics, or there is something, beyond it? If this is politics, then, is that the kind of politics that should be played in Nigeria? Or, is it the kind of thing, an era we need to live, observe, and overcome it with time? So that's the question we keep on asking. But I can tell you now that it is not true for Bola Hammed Tinunbu's second-term ambition, considering what is happening in Nigeria now, especially the issue of hunger, the issue of insecurity, the issue of failure of some of his policies.
Power supply.
Yeah, power supply.
Everything.
Everything seems to be upside down. The president has not even made a direct move to anywhere to see how the victims of insecurity and other things are being looked at or being taken care of. But we keep on hearing emergency, chief of army staff, there's emergency in National, there's always meeting
order,
and all that.
marching order.
Even his visit to Anambra State Governor Soludo, has backfired already. So, but what I'm saying at this point is that, we are seeing mass defection of southern politicians, especially the governors themselves, to All Progressive Congress and ruling party, and this set-off is a direct signal to the likes of, and I know it was a surprise that Atiku came out and said, what is going to happen, as in form of coalition, is going to shake.
That's where I'm going at. What do you think it give Atiku that confidence that he's going to merge a Labour Party, PDP and APC, despite all the challenges that we saw facing the coalition, like a PDP Governor Forum asking him question that with which structure do you want to do the merging? So what do you think it give Atiku some assurance before he come out to mention Labour, APC and PDP? Do you think he has done some underground working?
Yeah. The fact still remains that it looks like Atiku's ambition are the reason why people are decamping to APC. So it does not be very clear, but we saw a senator, a politician, a prominent politician from Benue State, Abamoro. Yeah, anybody can remember Abamoro, trying to tell Atiku, please jettison whatever you have as a presidential candidate for now. And not only that, a lot of people have said it in the north that the north should not think of returning to the presidency for now. And it looks like, from what we are gathering now, the reason why the southern politicians are moving to APC, to the surprise of many, might not be it might be connected to, Atiku is already signaling that he's going to pick the ticket of the coalition at the end of the day. And they're saying, for this reason, anything can happen, and we are not longer interested. The middle belt are waiting, are already sitting on the fence. They don't know whether to go to the north or whether they go to the south, at the end of the day. So they're already on the fence, waiting for final whistle and final decision at the end of the day. But the fact we are looking at, is that Atiku might be the frontliner of mobilization, trying to make sure that the coalition stands firm. And remember too, there's another man too, who are also sending a strong signal to APC government under Bola Hammed Tinunbu. I'm talking about Patutomi, Patutomi, who said, I'm broadening a parallel government. I am ready to face the DSS, whatever it is. I have my hand is already stretched with over 500 lawyers to come for him. This thing.
What does he mean by this parallel government? Is he going to be
it's a de facto, government, because it has been assumed by intellectuals and cerebral minds within the Nigerian context that this government has lost, it has failed completely. And in order for Nigeria to be collapsed, they need to have, a de facto government. And as Patutomi, as the president,
when they say
and DSS is saying, be careful, we can come for you at any time. And he said, I'm already waiting with 500 lawyers. And we saw under Jonathan too, Bola Hammed Tinunbu and Lai Mohammed, Arabushola, and as at that time, threatened Jonathan with parallel government, but I don't know why they want to unleash DSS on Patutomi at this point in time.
Let's go back out to Atiku Abukar. From antecedent, from what we know about Atiku Abukar, do you think Atiku Abukar will champion a coalition and he will sacrifice and he will drop his presidential ambition for somebody else. Do you see him do something like that?
Honestly, it is the expectation of so many politicians within the space of the coalition force, especially the likes of Elrufai and some of them, Lamido and others, who have already seen that PDP is dying. And the suspicion that the mass defection we are seeing what might be people who are not comfortable with the Northern are returning into power. 2027.
Especially Atiku Abukar.
Especially Atiku, they were pointing at Atiku. And you can see the sudden romance between Atiku and, of course, former president Obasanjo recently, So if you look at what is actually going on at this point in time, you begin to understand that, there must be more to what we are saying. We might be surprised at the end of the day, Atiku will just be relegated at the background to become a rallying point, for both North and the South, to galvanize support for another Southern president that will take over from Bola Hammed Tinunbu if competing ambition at the end of the coalition structure is being put together properly and everybody agreed this is the direction we are going to go at the end of the day, and everybody will be able to render at least that selflessness to make Nigeria work, or better still, to have an alternative to Bola Hammed Tinunbu's led APC government.
When we shift to the South, that a potential presidential candidate from South, who come to your mind first? Then alternative. Is there any one or two politicians from South that can, benefit from that coalition, that they can give the presidential?
Definitely, yes. Obi might not be the best person, that people are already pointing at, that is the truth, but in terms of popularity, in terms of, tested and trusted, in terms of being in the trenches, in the field of campaign and election processes and all that, Obi was able to stand alone and garner and hit up to 6-7 million votes just without anybody coming in that direction. So I think it's a repeat of how Buhari came into power. So when they noticed that Buhari after some time has been hitting between 6-7 million votes, independently under CPC, they now felt that, okay, with just a little coming together, Jonathan is gone already, So I think it was calculated at that, and it was spearheaded. So they are looking at it now from that angle that since there's this reservation that power is not going to go to the north, can we get an alternative in the South? And people are already pointing in the direction of Obi, that's the way it is now. And they are saying, like, okay, if they are going to pull this coalition, is Obi really marketable? And who is going to be Obi's second running mate at the end of the day? Definitely that person must come from north, And for me, I want competence. I want Nigeria to get to a level of recognizing leadership, you know what I mean, and showing leadership too. I would have preferred Obi Saraki, these two people, to put them on the scale and let Nigerians look at them properly. Is it worth the coalition?
Another angle I wanted to look at is that, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is not a small kid when we talk about Nigeria politics. So if he sacrifices his own presidential ambition, then he gives his support to Peter Obi, he will be able to handle that campaign very well, more than what we witness in Labour Party, because Labour Party has never had a heavy battle like that they have in 2023. So I think the weight of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, put it behind Obi, it will give President Bola Hammed Tinunbu run in 2027. What is your take on that?
That Labour Party was a child of necessity, and that's the way it is. And how within a space of 1 month or 2 months or thereafter, a lot of people were selected under that platform.
It was an emergency solution.
Even those who never wanted to be governor or who wanted to be House of Rep members, people were just voting Labour without minding anywhere they see Labour. That is the same party Nigerians will have. They want to see change. They want to see their country actually work. So Atiku has made his mark in Nigeria. Nigeria has also supported him in all ramifications in terms of business and whatever. So if he's sacrificing whatever ambition he have, now and tomorrow, to see that he is part of those people who brought leadership in Nigeria. Just like what we saw during his romance with when he was vice president to Obasanjo. We saw the kind of technocrats that surrounded their government at that time. So if Atiku can just see it as a sacrifice that he needed to offer, for Nigerians, and be at the background and coordinate both the Labour Party, APC, or SDP, whatever party APC that are going to form this matter at the end of the day, and everybody is okay, and give another person from the south a push. Of course, Atiku will also be remembered for having contributed to an extent of providing leadership in Nigeria.
Before we go, we have two bottlenecks about this coalition that you are suggesting. Number one, what will be the name of that coalition? Do they want to collapse the structure of PDP, or is it Labour structure that the Labour they will stop bearing Labour? How do you think all these things will work together? Plus another one, a southern candidate, is he going to spend 1 term or 2 terms? And how is the permutation is going to be for the northern?
Okay, I think it's one of the deepest questions that many Nigerians are asking, and investors want to know. From abroad, Nigerians in diaspora want to know how are they going to work out those modalities in terms of the questions you've just put, before the public. At this point, we are trying to digest. I think if we have a better, Nigerians are getting wiser, and awareness is coming on daily basis as a result of the intervention. The jinx has been broken as a result of social media. If we have a southerner that was able to fix Nigeria to an extent. Nigeria has a stable electricity, a stable economy within a space of 2 years to 4 years. The Hausas, can come together. The Yorubas can come together, and they can jettison whatever and say, okay,
jettison every condition.
Yes, let us give him more 4 years for him to. They can sacrifice it. The politician can also sacrifice it. But if you have a situation where these things are not going like that, they will say, I come out, so I don't do that. Let us try another turn, another place, another zone at the end of the day. But these are the things that needed to be checked. Whatever coalition they are going to form at the end of the day, or whether it's going to come under the umbrella of PDP, whether it's going to come under the umbrella of SDP, whether it's going to come. APC did it. They have ABGA, they have CPC, they have new PDP factored in at the end of the day. It depends on how the mobilizer, the person who are championing the coalition, are able to carry everybody along, and they're able to get a particular resolution, whether it's going to be a new party or whether it's going to be under the umbrella of one of these political parties.
That means they have a lot of work to do on their table before they can.
Of course,
they can put like 3 or 4 rams inside one.
They are politicians. It doesn't take them anything if they actually mean that they are going to that direction.
Thank you very much, sir.